What's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today we are talking all things Atascadero with Terrie and Loreli with Visit Atascadero. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in and telling us. I mean, I'm excited to hear what's going on. There's so much stuff going on in Atascadero.
Always. It is nonstop.
It really is nonstop. We were just talking about that on the Morning Brew show, as far as like the transition from, Paso to Atascadero, as far as in terms of like, what's happening.
Yeah.
So it used to be the hub in Paso. Now Atascadero is kind of picking up that ball and building and growing. And the momentum is really, really awesome at Atascadero with the businesses, with the events, just with the landscape, the visual. And it was cool because we went and talked to the fire department 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he showed me kind of like, the layout, and I don't want to say what they're doing yet because we're gonna do something anyways.
Yeah, we'll do a little more with that.
But he showed me a fountain that I did not know that was there. I didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
And I've ridden my bike down that street a billion times, and he showed me the little rock monument. I'm like,
yep.
I said, it's like right here. And it's like, this would be so cool. So, anyways, thanks for coming in and telling us about what's happening. So,
thanks for having us.
So I'll let you start.
Thanks for having us.
Tell me what we got going on in Atascadero.
We have quite a bit. I mean, Friday nights have been great. We just had our sip and shop with the chamber, and they had about a little over 400 people attend that. So the Friday nights are bubbling too. I mean, just in general. So coming down, on a Friday evening, Saturday evening, that sort of thing. But we have a couple things coming up. We have At Her Table, which is a week-long event, kicks off March 1st through March 10th. And we have the honor of hosting the International Women's Day on March 8th, which is going to be an event where we're doing tours of City Hall and talking about how women's influence with E.G. Lewis, our founder of the city of Atascadero, for, it's free, different tours that'll be going on with that. And then we'll have fireworks after at 8 o'clock.
Oh, really?
Central Gardens, yep. We're probably the only city in the United States that's doing fireworks for International Women's Day, so that's a pretty cool thing.
Wow.
And then we have the At Her Table Street Festival on March 10th, and I think they have 40 vendors now, all women-owned businesses, and they're doing stuff across the county that week, March 1st through the 10th, so you go to visitatascadero.com and you can click on whatever event At Her Table, and it'll take you to their full website with all the different winemaker dinners, all the different activities, classes. They're doing all kinds of stuff, so it's pretty cool. It involves the whole county, so people got to check that out.
The Saturday the 10th, we have a street fair, which is like a maker, I think it's called, is it Maker's Muse?
It's 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. for At Her Table on Entrada.
Yeah, they shut down the street. They have all the people who make
it's all the women-owned businesses,
like
grass
crafts,
work, leather work, all that good stuff.
You have everything,
cool.
so it'll be a good variety of things.
And I think those type of events are really drawing attention. Because anybody can go on Amazon and buy something, but
totally.
the whole purpose is to support local, buy local, support that local business, and the crafts. I mean, some of these things are really amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like there's this movement towards that. I think people are starting to push back against cheap stuff from China. So they're like, what can we get that's homemade, made in America, handmade right in our community, and
check out our local businesses. I mean, you got women-owned businesses right there. You have Bramble Pie with Emily Goldstein. You have Fair and Elizabeth. You have, there's so much. You have Anna Pekarik with Anna and Company, and just there's so many businesses just on Entrada too that will be open on Saturday, or this is Sunday, March 10th. With At Her Table that you can really enjoy and check out.
And you almost have to get out of your car, and I mean, you can't just drive into Atascadero and check things out.
Right.
It used to be where you'd park and stop and then run into some place, but now I feel like we've gotten to a critical mass where you can probably park and stay for 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
And then if you catch a movie, of course, you got 4 or so, but you don't have to leave town for date night.
And we're open container.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I mean, we are. You can.
Well, that's a highlight.
Picnic
It is a highlight. And stroll
Yeah.
down Entrada. You can go over to street side and have dinner. I mean, it's just very strollable, if that's a word.
It is now.
Yeah.
Well, and it's very surprising too. As far as like what you run across when you get out of your car and actually walk down, like we're talking Entrada. You walk down Entrada and just see these businesses that you just you might be looking over here and pass this one over here if you're driving. Whereas when you walk down those sidewalks, you're like, oh, let's check this place out. It's like, wow, it's like, it's surprising because you just stumble on these little small mom and pop shops that you wouldn't necessarily search out because you know about it. You just stumble on it and find it.
Yeah, and I feel like we're switching to, I get to the pleasure of talking to all the businesses when they come and sign their business license, and I check their zoning, make sure they're all set up, and just kind of be a face to greet them and say, welcome. I'm so glad you chose our community to open your business. But now we're starting to get away from that scarcity mindset. Like, we've only got 3 shops in downtown, to this abundance of people are coming down specifically to stroll on a Saturday night or for sip and shop. I was there on Friday night, and I think it was the 16th, and it was packed. And our brand new business, who just came in from Georgia, Dewey Rose Clothing, was open, and they said, we couldn't believe the turnout. This was so fantastic. I'm like, but are people buying? Are they actually shopping? Or are they just here to fill up their wine glass from the 20 different wineries in our downtown and some of the shops? And they said, we did so well. Of course, I contributed to that because it was my birthday and I went shopping. Also hit up a Metza and Black Sheep. But while I was there, every store was packed. It was, the streets were full, the lights were on.
Packed.
Kelly Archer Interiors.
I was going to go in and say hi, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people in there.
Can't even get in.
Yeah,
it was
and
good.
people had bags. I mean, they were shopping, so it was really good. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Sure.
We have these events so people come downtown, they enjoy the event, but they're also shopping and enjoying, the different unique shops and businesses and grabbing dinner, grabbing a glass of wine or whatever.
6 great places to stop and eat, and we've like 5 or 6 more coming soon. So
very cool.
We've
And the
got a
sip and shop
place.
is once a month? Or is it
It's
just
actually, so it's 4 times a year.
Okay.
The next one is May 3rd when we kick off Tamale Festival. So that'll be a Friday night. We'll have fireworks and the whole thing with that. And then they go to a date in September and then December 6th. So those are the dates of the sip and shop. So you can find that too on visit Atascadero.com. And then it will link you over to the chamber, their website. And they also have an event calendar that has all of their stuff on that too.
Awesome.
So yeah, we try to be as informative as possible and get the information out. So
like I said, you guys are doing great. Downtown, the organization between you guys and the chamber, and I mean, it's just there's something going on all the time. It seems like.
Yeah.
You
definitely.
really have to kind of dig in and visit that calendar frequently to find out what's going on. It's like kind of like what's playing at the movies. It's like go to your calendar, find out what's happening in Atascadero.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Awesome.
the same, real similar.
Very cool. So what else is going on?
Lots of new businesses coming to town. I don't want to miss anyone, so I'll pull up my list if I need it. But just in the downtown alone, we have, like I mentioned, Dewey Rose Clothing, wonderful couple that just discovered Atascadero and said, oh my goodness, we are going to open up in the next month, and then we are going to expand and open an all men's store in the next couple months as soon as we get our bearings straight. So they're looking for a spot now. But we've got Golden State Goods, which is a kind of a curated thrift. She goes to gem shows, she makes jewelry, she brings in leather work from other places. Some of the vintage stuff, I got some amazing, finds just searching around. But we also have Kelly Archer Interiors. They are an interior design store, but they also have really bright, beautiful ceramics. They sell coffee, which you walk into the store and it smells amazing. You also mentioned Bramble Pie, woman owned. They are opening a Jewish deli. I think I might have talked about that last time you were here. It's called Johnny's Bakery and Jewish Delicatessen. Right next door, Amsterdam Coffee is coming from Paso to Atascadero to open a second location.
Know that.
Really?
Right across from City Hall, so you can be fueled with caffeine all day long. And in the evening, they're going to have a piano bar and kind of a.
So Corey's bringing what he does in Paso to Atascadero. What a great idea!
So
that
excited.
Is a good idea.
And we have so much opportunity. We're not saturated at all because we have Malibu Brew across the street. They've got a great clientele that's established. They're also going to sell beer and wine in the evenings at Corey's new place at Amsterdam. So it's great. We've got a barbecue place working on coming to town. We've been needing that.
Where's that one going to be?
I believe it's going to be at La Plaza, the new building kind of over by LOL Yogurt. So they're working on it, build out and concept now. And I mean, you can't really.
Mr. Q's
just opened. I went there Monday.
That's cool.
And so this is the owner of Don Q, Oscar Cruz, wonderful human.
Yeah.
He has like wine margaritas, which were amazing, by the way. And his rellenos are like this work of art. They've got steaks, beautiful steaks. Everyone in Atascadero is always asking for a steakhouse, but they've got these beautiful aged chimichurri steaks, and it's just awesome. I mean, it could not be. So
it's interesting that you said that, because we were talking about that a few weeks ago on our show about, it was rating the steak, North County's, steak places, and they named that as one of the steak
Yeah.
places. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, because I've been to Don Q's.
Yeah.
There's no
Yes.
steaks there.
No.
Right.
You know, but
Right.
He's
stepping it up.
Stepped it up.
wow, that's
And
awesome.
he
Right
did good as Don
downtown.
Q's too. So Mr. Q's even more so.
They have a
So
big following, and
Yeah.
I had been there, and I had known of them, and they had great name recognition. But they was full on a Monday night, so that's exciting for me because they're
And that's right across from the Sunken Gardens, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
right there, and then Beach and Biscuits, right?
Yep,
Still?
Beach and Biscuits
Okay.
is coming. So
That's
they're
cool.
coming to the muffler shop on the corner right across from the Carlton.
Okay, you were mentioning that last time.
They're coming soon. They're just working on their plans and getting their build out kind of planned out. And then the Carlton, we've got Nectar Noble. I think we talked about that last time opening up. That's
Their
going to
signs
be
up.
Yep, their signs up. They should be opening pretty soon. They're going to do a huge renovation. They're just going through the city planning process now to add some more rooms to the Carlton, add a speakeasy, a distillery, a 40 to 50 person restaurant in there too. So
And that's all from the new owners
it
that have
is
taken over?
wonderful family. They've been in the business for 40 years. They are hoteliers through and through, but they're also thinking about opening up like a kind of a marketplace too. So maybe it's a place where a lot of our makers can sell their wares. Really exciting things happening right downtown. So.
And of course, you got Sonic. I mean,
Oh
that's,
yeah, it's got to
that's
be. It's
huge.
got to happen within the month, I'm sure, unless the weather doesn't permit. But it's happening. I got my son for Valentine's Day a Sonic gift card, so because he's for his
that's
lunches at
good
school.
idea.
So I knew he'd be excited about that.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
It's really funny how blinders that we're in, just our everyday community, our everyday life. Because I posted something on our page last month as far as Sonic, and it was like this huge long discussion. It's like, wait, what? Where's this going? And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's just
There's
it's
certain
funny
things.
how we live that way. And,
Yep.
and don't stop to smell the roses. But Sonic, right across from In-N-Out. I
Yeah.
mean, this is going to be a huge traffic issue. Do you think? I mean,
it was planned for this.
It's-
It was?
I mean, it was
They have their
KFC and
in and out areas. So
but I don't think KFC
handle it.
really has the
No.
magnitude that Sonic's going to bring.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to be battling. I mean, okay, it's like which one has the less, the smaller line, and which one I'm going to go to.
It's designed for that. Yeah, I bet Sonic will do great just because if In-N-Out's having a busy hour and they're at rush hour, they'll be full. But people are coming just for Sonic too. I've gotten a lot of calls from just random people at the city, calling the city to say, hey, when are they coming? I've heard this rumor. Is it true? Why isn't it open yet? Here's what you need to order when they do open. I've got recipes jotted down in my notepad. Like, thank you. I will try that.
Do you know, ladies? I want to ask you this question because you guys are in the know of what's happening in Atascadero, and it's obviously some of the stuff that you're not sharing because it hasn't been exposed.
Yeah, don't
fully
catch the
yet.
chickens before they catch the
Right.
ribbon. I think
But
that's
do you
how it goes.
foresee the downtown Atascadero area becoming more of a nightlife? Like say say
Yeah,
San Luis,
definitely.
I don't know if San Luis is anymore because it's kind of deteriorating a little bit as far as within the town, but do you foresee that?
Well, I think if you like chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, I think between Paso Slow and Atascadero, you've got a little something for everyone. And for a while, we were kind of just vanilla. And I think that people are taking notice, not just people to come visit, but restaurateurs and venues. So
The culinary aspect
yeah, I
is
can
gonna
talk
be
about
big.
some of the concepts, but the culinary aspect is definitely stepping up with Barley and Boar and Cielo. But we have people who have been talking with us in the works just about a concert venue, small, like the Siren in Morro Bay, right downtown. So when let's
That would be
just say
huge.
Sherwin-Williams Paint's lease is up in a year, and I can talk about some of these things in concept.
Yeah.
We're working on another space for them, and the owner of that building is excited to collaborate and bring somebody like the Siren to downtown. And would that be a challenge or would that be amazing? It would be amazing as long as we can make sure that it's contributing positively to downtown. But how neat to have something for everybody one night of the week, every night of the week, and roll up that door where the loading dock is and have something exciting. I mean, there's a lot of cool things that are coming and that are on the horizon, but people are taking notice and asking and calling. So all we got to do is play musical spaces and make sure some of the offices that are a little more sleepy have a new home somewhere else. We don't want to displace anyone, but if your people are going to come to your appointment, no matter where you are in the city, do you need to be in downtown? So just slowly over time, that's kind of what I do in economic development, is a little bit of how can we as a city support you moving. Did you know that there's a fully built out dentist office down on Morrow Road that's for lease right now, and maybe that could be a good place for you? And gosh, what could you make for this building that you already have paid off right there on Sunken Gardens? Wouldn't it be cool if it were a restaurant or a retail shop? How do we support you?
What about some of the businesses that's been around the Sunken Gardens? Because I know I would assume that Sunken Gardens is Atascadero's focal point for the community, or for for the draw.
The downtown.
But you have a lot of the businesses that has been there for a long, long time, way before what it is now. Is there any plans or ideas or thoughts to there's like dental offices, and there's a bunch of different offices that don't necessarily fit the format per se anymore.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
It's
hot
a lot of
topic.
that. It is a hot topic. So it's a lot of basically the businesses are your healthcare, dental, that kind of thing. But then we have an opportunity that we have a request for proposal out there for the Centennial Plaza area, and Loreli can talk to that and how we're working to bridge that over, because you have Colony Cinemas and Wildfields Brewing on the one side, and it's walkable over there. And then we have this area in between that we're able to talk about putting more businesses in, that kind of bridges Sunken Gardens from downtown Entrada over to Colony Cinemas. So there's this whole, and you have La Plaza, and you have Tent City Brewing. So you're having this, whole area, plus north of Traffic Way, you have those businesses up there. So it's really kind of pulling all of those geographic areas together, and it's happening. And Loreli can talk more to the Centennial Plaza piece, but
Well, Terrie's been at the city much longer than I have. I jumped into government 3 years ago, much to my surprise, and I love every second of it. I do. It's neat to work for your hometown and see how things really operate. And I am proud to work there, and as a taxpayer, I'm excited about how things are operating. I mean, everybody has their own opinions, but once you get there and see how it works, you're like, we got a lot of people who hustle and a lot of people who are working on things. Even when you don't see movement on certain things, there's something going on. There's a story, someone's working, there's irons in the fire. So one of those things is the city has surplus property right on East Mall, as Terrie mentioned, by the Centennial Plaza, where you see the little bridge that cuts over the creek and takes you to the movie theater. Well, the city was able to, of course, the state's laws say you have to send that out for bid to the Surplus Land Act process and see if anyone wants to develop it for housing, which we did that process, but it's a small parcel that could only fit so many units, so it didn't make the scale of economy for a housing developer. So we put that out there and said, we would like for developers, any interested parties, to come to us and bid on this project and say, here's our plan for it, and maybe we can make a great deal on the property, as so long as we're staying within all of the real estate rules and laws, and they can build whatever they like as long as it has activating retail and restaurant on the ground floor. What you want to do upstairs is what the market demands. So you want to do a floor of office, you want to do 2 floors of office or 2 floors of Airbnbs or apartments, great, do it. And bring a little more life. And then, hey, talk to the neighbors and see, hey, what if we built your orthodontist or dentist office upstairs? Could we also partner and help develop your property? And you'd have a brand new turnkey, state-of-the-art business to sell when you want to retire in 5, 10, 20 years. There's all sorts of creativity that can happen, and that's how that's the only way government can help spur something really exciting to happen there, is if we give a carrot, not a stick. I mean, that's really it. Because as the history says, as I'm coming into this, in the past it was like, no more offices on the ground floor. Well, you can't come in with a stick and say that. It's private property, and people have owned this for 30, 60 years, so who are we to say that? And our council is very important about private property rights, or feels very strongly about private property rights. So the conversation has been, they can stay, how can we work with you to partner and find other alternatives and an incentive? And when you're ready, we know somebody who would love to buy that and turn it into something really activating that would complement the fact that we have a sleepy park right down in town in our middle of our heart of the city.
So you got to take her for that.
Exactly, we do.
Awesome.
We have the deadline is March 1st for our requests for proposals, or for qualifications. And we will have I've talked to 3 or 4 people who have been asking questions about submitting, but people are coming from Ventura area, local people from here, from outside of the area and inside of the area, saying, what do you want? And we've already zoned it accordingly and said, read the zoning and do whatever you like with that you can make pencil financially for you.
Wow.
We just want a commitment that you're really going to buy it and build it in the next
certain period of time.
It's a fantastic opportunity, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Well, that's exciting.
I know.
But the other thing is that you guys haven't gotten, which is the RFP, which for the downtown lighting area.
RFP. So
we need to get
some people going for this.
Right.
So We have a request for proposal out there for our holiday lighting of sunken gardens. And 7 years ago, we used to light up the trees, the deodar cedar trees that are huge, and they're kind of balance the sunken gardens, and they're strategically placed according to history and all of that. So we want to decorate sunken gardens, but we can't do it anymore. We used to have Public Works out there with cherry pickers and working, nonstop to try and get it where it will light up appropriately, that sort of thing. So we started decorating City Hall. But after the past couple of years, especially this year, City Council really heard from the community that how come we're not lighting up sunken gardens? It was so pretty when we did it. We need to do it again. So, of course, City of Paso did a fantastic job with their downtown city park, and they've had that going for a while. But this last go round, it was just magnificent. And so I reached out to City of Paso and I said, "Okay, guys, how did you do this?" And so they gave me that opportunity. That this is a contractor type of scenario where they come in and they decorate. They have like a month long to decorate or whatever they need with lights. And then those lights are out there. They light up on a certain day. So December 6th, there'll be our holiday lighting like it is every year. And from there till like January 6th, we'll have sunken gardens lit up. We'll also light up City Hall like we have done in the past. Those lights in sunken gardens would complement what we've done at City Hall. And we've put out a request for proposal that kind of gives an idea of what we're looking for, but at the same time, we want people to be creative. We don't want to just say this is this. We want to just make sure that we're complementing what you see in Paso and it's not the same. Like, we want it to be different. And that's something that is important to them and important to us and important to, the community. We want to be a little different. We also want to give the lighting kind of like we had in the past, but not, because that's hard to do because they wrapped those trees like you wouldn't believe, and those trees grow, and so lights break and that sort of thing. So,
right.
But we have a request for proposal out there. We're looking for a contractor that's willing to invest their time. It's up to $65,000 is the request for proposal that we are able to do, and we're looking for sponsors as well to sponsor that. And just give a lot of marketing around it, and everyone will be, I'm excited about it. At the same time, you need to have the RFPs coming through the door. So on Monday, February 26th at 2 o'clock at City Hall, we're going to do a pre-lighting meeting for those contractors that are interested to come over, and we can talk about different questions that they might have, on what we're looking for in the RFP. So again, 2 o'clock City Hall on Monday, February 26th. The RFPs due March 15th. So there's time to get in that RFP after the meeting, a couple weeks there. So we're hoping that we have a couple different contractors put in for that. And, we're excited to work with them on whatever their creativeness is and kind of take it from there and make a decision.
So the trees that were done in Paso, was that done by the city himself? It wasn't done
contractor.
So
yeah.
Have you reached out to that contractor?
I
both?
don't necessarily. I haven't reached out. They had, I think, about 10 contractors submit RFPs for their lighting. I haven't reached out to City of Paso for that list of who they were. I wouldn't want to conflict with who they have, because if they've taken on City of Paso, they're not going to be able, I don't think they'd be able to take on us. And like anything else, you don't want to look the same either, which is entirely, wouldn't probably anyway with one contractor. But I think City of Paso, and I don't want to speak for them, but I know that they reached out to the Cambria Christmas Market, and the Cambria Christmas Market folks were like, no, this is what we do. Like, there's that bandwidth to be able to take on more is really hard to do in that scenario, because they basically, the contractor has ownership of the lights. So they come in and they decorate with the lights, and they take the lights back and they store those lights. So that's kind of, we're looking at the same exact thing as far as that plan goes, because that's a very realistic plan for us. And then the financing part of that is the other piece. And Paso is so successful, they're leaving their lights out longer, and I think they have a whole plan around what they're doing, which is exciting. We're really looking at that month-long time frame and looking at something that complements City Hall, that's got the beautiful white lights, and it's not too Disney, but it's that, kind of, it really complements City Hall and the history and just that kind of feel.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be beautiful.
That'd be beautiful. So we're working in that direction. So anybody out there?
And so ideally, I mean, we want to find somebody local
Yes.
here that,
Totally.
contributes versus, reaching
I love
outside
that.
the aisle
Yeah.
to, bring somebody else in. Then everybody complains you didn't use somebody
I
local.
know.
And
Yeah.
so it's, so ideally we got to find somebody that's local here.
Yes, we do. And it would be, I'm hoping, fingers crossed that, we have quite a few to choose from, but
that's exciting.
one's exciting too. So,
Wow.
yeah, so we're, go online to atascadero.org, and if you click on the business link, it'll take you to RFPs, and you'll find out about both programs that we talked about. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
So what else we got? We got the Story Labs going on,
Yeah,
right?
I think I might have mentioned this in the past, but Atascadero's council is very focused on bringing up our jobs to housing balance ratio, like our ratio. We've been a bedroom community historically for all of history, and then people were usually commuting outward to work in San Luis Obispo or even the Bay Area sometimes. So how do we make ourselves whole as a community while we bring up our jobs? And people are finding now, especially after, shutting everything down and leaving office space, coming back to, I don't think I really have to go in 5 days a week. Mm-hmm. I could still work from home for 3 days a week, or gosh, that's getting annoying because I have kids at home or a dog barking in the background. Doesn't feel very professional. So people are finding their way to co-working spaces. So 4 co-working spaces right now in Atascadero, Bridgeworks West. Those are owned by, kind of operated by the Chamber. Bloom and Story Labs, which you just mentioned. So Story Labs is about to open and cut their ribbon. They're leasing now, and so are all of the other co-working spaces. But it's interesting. There's all sorts of different models. Come in, just pop up, rent a desk, work with a bullpen, a bunch of people, meet all sorts of cool people, have a great coffee bar down there.
Great networking area too.
Use the copier, have a high-def TV to do your Zooms on with really high-speed internet. Maybe you don't have that at your house and it's a little unstable. Or get a closed-door office. Or rent a desk just, 2 days a week. So all sorts of different models for someone who's looking for something different. This can be if you're a realtor and you just want to have a professional environment to bring your clients, but you don't need to be going into a office or paying a ton of money for a full office space lease. So I think what comes out of that and what they're all working to do is create more of like an ecosystem for entrepreneurship and sharing information. So if I'm sitting next to someone who's a corporate attorney for Netflix, and some people in Atascadero are the corporate attorney for Uber, and some people are HR director for Uber. Like, we have very interesting people doing really cool work right from their homes in Atascadero, and they always have been. I worked remotely for 15 years from Atascadero for a Sacramento-based company as a planning consultant doing downtown revitalization. That's why I'm so passionate about Atascadero. But there's so many people that I met through that process that are doing the same kind of work or interesting sorts of things. But you get a little stir crazy when you work from home for too long.
Sure.
You need collaboration, but you're learning from other people too. And when you find out that someone knows all the new HR laws for the 2024 that just came down from the state, you can make sure your company's in compliance. So having that cross-pollination at the coffee, at the water cooler with these other folks, or having someone say, oh, you do marketing? Gosh, I'm really bad at social media. I would really like to know what you can do to help me. Oh, you're just, you would do this for this much a month? Yeah, I could use your help. And then you just see the sparks fly, businesses take off, and it's creating an environment where we can grow quality jobs in Atascadero, which is our number one goal right now, to make ourselves financially whole as a city. We still have to pay for every home to have police, fire, sewer, all of those things. And this is how we do it. We grow businesses that have a tax base. So again, we were talking about economic development a little bit earlier, and we don't want to change too much as a community because we love who we are, and that's why everybody fell in love with us, Atascadero, as a home. But if we don't make ourselves whole and have the tax base from businesses, not just property tax from homes, because it actually costs more to serve most homes than it does to than they pay for themselves. So there's that balance of how do we actually find a way to pay for the maintenance of our parks and our trails, pay for the maintenance of our roads and our potholes, make sure we have enough police per household to serve our community. So it's all those financial things that go into economic development that no one sees behind the scenes that are really important. So again, Sonic may come in, but if we have the steady stream of people always spending in our community instead of going outward where they work, it will really help us as a community.
Self-sufficiency.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep everybody in the
Yeah,
house.
don't want the water to splash out of the pool too much. Got to keep it in.
Yeah.
I watch these people too. It's fun because I'll go over for meetings just at the chamber at Bridgeworks, and they are all talking and they know each other, and it's just they're all different walks of life, and it's just cool. It's like a business within a business. It's hard to explain, but they have different departments.
It's like living in an apartment complex, and everybody knows they're like family. You know, watch over everybody else, and you know. Maybe
if you're having a
celebrate,
bad day,
you know.
It's
very cool.
It's an inspiring environment. It's not like a workspace. It's like a lounge with a full coffee bar. The fridge is stocked with wine and beer for after 4 or 5 o'clock. So you can kind of do. But even if we have small meetings, we can use that community space for conversations. You can rent out the conference rooms, even if you don't own a space in there. You can just even have a PO box. You know, an office there where it's an invisible office, so you don't have to use your home address for your company. Like there's all sorts of ways but it's not just trending, it's actually becoming a necessity. And I feel like Atascadero is doing it very well, if not better than other places, because we have always had these people. They're just coming a little bit out of their homes and out of the woodwork and coming into one common space.
Well, it definitely makes sense because of the fact that, like you said, you know, working from home, we learned all that during COVID. You know, everybody went from, you know, offices and this and that to, you know, the lounge chair in the backyard because you had to work from home.
Yeah,
right.
And so now you can get out of that house environment and get to a, like you say, a co-working environment and, you know, operate as if you did have your own building, but you kind of do, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, if people are interested in that, all they have to do is look up Story Labs Atascadero, you know, and that'll pop up and it'll show all the different types of spaces for rent, whether you just want a desk, whether you just want part-time, whether you want a closed-door office. You can go to bridgeworks.com, that's at the chamber, and they have Bridgeworks West. We have Bloom Co-Working Space. So there's just so many different models and options, and whatever your vibe is, you choose. So
awesome.
It is. It's really cool.
So much stuff happening in Atascadero. It's crazy.
It really is.
So do we want to talk about events coming up?
Sure. So we have at her table, I mentioned earlier, but we have Central Coast Craft Beer Festival. And so that is coming up at March 23rd on a Saturday, and it's a 12 to 4. If you want to do VIP, it's 12 to 1. Then I think it's like 1 to 4 is the regular time frame. And you have at least 40 craft breweries, if not 50. And that's coming in. So visit Atascadero.com and click on events, and you'll see all the different things that are coming up there.
Wow.
So yeah.
So that's your next big event. So at her table and then
Central Coast Craft Beer Festival, and those are city sponsored events. I mean, right now we are working on Tamale Festival for May 4th, May 3rd and 4th actually. And if you're a tamale vendor and you're on the fence, get in your application, go to visit Atascadero.com, click on events, click on Tamale Festival. We have all the vendor forms at the bottom. We're needing tamale vendors always. Can't have a tamale festival without tamales. So we usually have about 30, 35 tamale vendors, and we sell up to like 50,000 tamales. So no lie, that is it, and we tend to run out. So,
is there still time for vendors to get involved with all these events, or
yes,
they clapped
I believe
out?
Even Central Coast Craft Beer Festival, I think they're still accepting vendors. So you know, I'm sure that's going to end pretty quick here coming into March, but you have still a week or so. So definitely go on to visit Atascadero.com, all vendors, and just look at different events and see what you want to be involved with. And if there's not vendor forms at the bottom of that, you know, what it's talking about with the event, then click on the link to the site for that particular contact person. So we'll have contact information for vendors if we don't have vendor forms. So City has vendor forms on it. And then if you're Central Coast Craft Beer Fest, they have the link to their site. And on their site, you'll find where the vendor information is. So
very cool.
So we're very organized that way, and, you know, make it easy for folks to be involved. So yeah.
Well, exciting. It sounds like Atascadero is doing everything they can. You guys are doing everything that you can to make it blossom and grow and build and bring in the tourism and events, making it a fun place to hang out in the North County.
Yeah, especially for the community. I mean, we like our tourism and our visitors and all that, but everything is to get everybody out of their homes in their own city and county and come and check out what we have. It's just,
very cool.
It's important.
And I think we hit everything.
Yeah,
that we needed to chat about, right?
Yes.
Because like I said, I mean, we could sit here and talk all day.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I liked, you know, when you guys come in, because you guys are the ones that, you know, enlighten me of what's happening, because there is so much stuff that's happening, you know, in the North County, you know, and Atascadero, and you know, it's it's a surprise, you know, of, you know, the new businesses downtown. Events happening.
It also feels good to be able to share some of the truths because I'm online, I'm a resident, and I'm on the, you know, you grew up in Atascadero pages,
right.
But you see some of these things and, you know, did you hear, you know, Chick-fil-A's coming to this corner and it's like, I wish I could
what?
just. No.
Okay.
No.
You would know,
I'm like, wait a minute,
You'll
hold
be
on.
the first to know. No, but those conversations of what about Raising Cane's and, you know, where's our chicken restaurants? Like, where's this? And we get these conversations and I'd love to go on. It's just too much of a feed to respond. Yeah. But maybe we can have a city page that says, hey, currently, I have talked to them many times. I have talked to Raising Cane's. What's happening at Kmart?
Right.
We do talk to them. We talk to these people all the time, and we're working with their brokers. We're working with this. Like, where could it go if it is going to go? Is it going to break the intersection because it's just too full there? Because we've already got a lot of traffic on San Anselmo. So, like, where can these things go? But for us to be able to talk to you and share, like, the frequently asked questions or the things that are swirling about and just clear it up, it's great. You can always give me a call or email me too, but it's really nice when I see these things to be able to come and talk with you and be like, it's happening. It's really happening in a month, you know, or sorry, it's just a pipe dream.
Fake news.
Not only that, I also think of things like, you know, we have our Atascadero Lake Park, we have our Charles Paddock Zoo, we have our hiking trails all over the place. The water's running, the waterfalls are flowing, the flowers are soon to be blooming, you know, Carrizo Plains. We have so much stuff that you could do
going on.
and then come downtown after.
So much stuff.
You know?
Awesome.
So thank you for.
Well, ladies, thanks for coming in. We appreciate you guys coming in and sharing with us what's all happened there in Atascadero. And like I said, you know, I look forward to next month when you guys come in.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe Sonic will be open by then.
Better be.
We're gonna have the at her table event already passed. Gearing up for the Central Coast Craft Brew. So it's an exciting time in Atascadero.
It really is.
So, ladies, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hey, make sure you guys go and visit Atascadero.com because there's all kinds of stuff going on. You know, go to the calendar and mark your own calendar so that way you don't miss these events. But as always, guys, we want to thank you and our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, 805 Customs, Santo Brothers Plumbing, Pacific 805 Spas, Hanson Enterprises, Story Termite Pest Control, Borhone Auto Center, Kennedy Club Fitness, Airflow Filter Services, and of course, visit Atascadero, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you downtown.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, welcome to Kennedy Club Fitness, where we have something for everyone. We have weights, cardio, group exercise classes, racquetball, basketball, swimming, and pickleball coming soon. Here at Kennedy, we're committed to health, wellness, and community. Stop by any of our 4 locations, Paso Robles, Atascadero, San Luis Obispo, and Arroyo Grande, or check out our website at kennedyclubs.com.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We are all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
What's up, North County? Nate Santos here, owner of Santos Bros Plumbing. You might recognize me with my dancing horses at local events such as the Atascadero Tamale Festival, Templeton 4th of July, and Paso Pioneer Day. I am now available for all your home plumbing service and repair needs, from minor drips and drops to emergency leaks and clogs. For the best plumbing service, call Santos Bros Plumbing, pipe wranglers to the rescue.